Thank you and welcome to the show today. The topic today is a revisit, in a real sense, of some of the things that we've been talking about on this program. And the topic is Help Me, I'm Coming Home. It is an effort on our part to deal with the problems that individuals who have offended against society are now coming back into society, and the whole question of readjustment. And so the essence of what we will talk about will come from Pastor KWalker. And of course, Pastor Walker, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Dr. Haney, thank you for having me again this morning. And it's my pleasure to be here.
And to tell you how delighted we are to have you here, Pastor Walker. And I think, as we predicted, it would be sort of a rough and bumpy start.
Oh, yes.
But primarily, you've given us so much excellent information. And what we'd like to do is to simply build upon that this morning by talking about these individuals who you have already identified as individuals who do need help.
Yes.
And they're coming out of these institutions of correction without any kind of sufficient information in order to carry them through, and in a real sense, many of them end up back where they started.
Absolutely.
And so let's do that today, Pastor Walker. But before we do that, let's have you to give us a little information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of making you, in a real sense, a specialist dealing with incarceration. And I say that because we've had an opportunity on so many occasions to talk to you about it, and you have some real information in reference to this question.
Okay. Well, Dr. Haney, I'm KWalker. I'm the pastor of the Hands of God Christian Church. I'm also the founder of the Hands of God Recovery Ministries here in Nashville. I was born and raised here in Nashville, educated in the public school systems, didn't graduate. Actually ended up getting a GED through OIC some years after I had attended the Navy and went to the Navy and got out of the Navy. Did a few college studies at Tennessee State, did some studies while I was incarcerated through Tribeca East Campus prison program. Don't have a degree in any particular field, but I got a measure of knowledge of a lot of different things, especially concerning important issues that we face in life on a daily basis. And that's why I'm here today. I spent time in active drug addiction for 17 years of my life. I've been in active recovery process for almost 20 years, and I'll be 20 years this year. And of course, I've worked in treatment field with the Samaritan Recovery Community. I worked there for 12 years. And of course, from there, with all the collective information and knowledge that I have been able to go forward and form this ministry called the Hands of God Recovery Ministries, in which we utilize to work with individuals that are coming out of the prison system, trying to make that adjustment back into society, as well as others that maybe may have not experienced crime or anything, but just homelessness or drug addiction and things like that, and trying to actually give them a new start in life. And that's what we're all about.
You know, Pastor Walker, I think on a number of occasions you've talked about individuals who, in a real sense, once they become incarcerated, we almost forget them. I think you said that we follow them up to the prison gate, and then after that you don't hear anything else about them. And so this is but now tell us and identify for us today the individuals that are incarcerated, which is to say, give us some kind of figures and some kind of information in reference to individuals who are incarcerated and the parole system that they have to face in order to come out, so that they might be readjusted.
I haven't looked at the stats, the TDOC stats, the Tennessee Department of Correction stats, in terms of how many individuals are currently incarcerated in our system. But I do know that there are a great number of individuals who are incarcerated that are facing the parole boards in an effort to be released back into society. I do understand and do know that 90-something% of those people incarcerated will re-enter society. And in the process of doing that, something has got to be put in place to help them to make that adjustment or that readjustment, what have you, back into society once they are released. And now they have to go through this system, in the parole system. Now, this parole system that we're dealing with here, now you take an individual that's been incarcerated for years, and now they come up, they have an eligibility date for parole, and they face the parole board. Now, during that process of time, a lot of these individuals have completed programs that are inside the institution that's designed to help to rehabilitate them. But when they reach the parole board and they're sitting in that chair And it seems like no one is interested on the other side of that table, being the parole hearing officers, as to what accomplishment these individuals have made. They're more interested and more focused on looking at the crime itself than looking at what this individual has done, because here's an individual apparently is eligible for release back into society. So what I would want to know, if I was a parole hearing officer, what have you done to develop yourself in a positive way that could say to me, I can release you back into society, rather than spending all of that time focusing up on the offense that an individual committed. I mean, once I commit the offense, Dr. Haney, the offense has been committed, you know.
And of course, we're getting ready, Pastor Walker, for our first commercial break, but I understand exactly what you're saying here is that these are individuals that are going to really be enter into society.
Yeah.
And our best shot is to try to find out how to bring them back. Of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is